now.
Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Chef here. Today with another video of Brawl Stars. In today's video, I'll be playing some Brawl and Mortis, and I'll also be giving you guys some tips on how to play Brawl. So first of all, I want to just clarify that I'm definitely not the best or even close to being the best Mortis for Brawl, because yeah, as you can see from feedback, yeah, I'm not. Sometimes I can get get some good plays in, but most of the times I'm not the best with Mortis. I definitely need a lot more practice. But I'll still be giving you guys some like basic tips on how to play Mortis, probably like better than how you're playing it. So yeah, so first of all, Mortis, he can work on every single map, and some brawlers that you have to keep in mind of is like shotgun brawlers like Shelly, Bull, and in my opinion, like it's not all tanks is bad for Mortis. For example, like Primo or Frank is actually super easy to Mortis because their range is short and they have they don't do as much damage like at once. So for example, Primo, if he hits you once with one punch, it only does 500 damage at max level. But if it was like, let's say, a Bull at closest range with max damage, it's 2,800 damage. And it's not like if you are able to dash away from the Primo, just getting hit like one punch or twice, you only take like 1,000 damage instead of like taking 2,000 plus or even 3,000 or even more damage. And also for Frank, you can with his delayed attack, you can easily dash past them and get to the goal. So in my opinion, and it is probably like like a true fact, like against like a Primo and a Frank, it's definitely really easy to actually play against them. As long as you're able to dash past them and not pass them the ball, you can easily score, as long as their teammates aren't helping out. So yeah, definitely keep in mind of these brawlers like Shelly and Bull. And also, if you are playing Mortis and Brawl, you definitely have to make sure that there are basically two types when you're playing, like two kind of game style of how you want to play. If you have the ball, you want to play, obviously you want to be the ball carrier. But if you don't have the ball, you have to target the opponent's ball carrier. Obviously, if the opponent has a Mortis, you're gonna always be on that Mortis, trying to steal his ball or even just try to kill him. Obviously, you do not want to try to just kill him at once, because if you try to kill him, he's gonna be able to dash past you towards the goal. So what you want to do against a opponent, doesn't matter if it's a Mortis or a tank or whatever, if you're trying to damage an opponent, what you want to do is you want to stand in basically on them, walking in the same direction, and then dash backwards, so towards your own goal. Because what that will do is when you dash towards your own goal, if they try to pass the ball or shoot the ball towards your goal, you will be able to be in front of him and you will actually catch the ball. So you do not want to dash, you don't want to auto aim dashing forwards and backwards like that, because that means they will be able to just shoot the ball right into your goal. So you always want to make sure that you're like standing a little bit in front of them and dashing forward. You'll be in front of them, and also you will deal damage to them, and you'll also be blocking the ball if they're trying to shoot it. And yeah, if you're super, like I said multiple times with Mortis, you do not want to auto aim his super. Just because his super is so strong, probably one of the best supers other than like Terra and some other brawlers, because his super, if you're able to hit like 2 players, that's like half of his health is back. And if you're able to hit like 3 or 4 players, not even players, like just entities basically on the map, you're able to get basically full health back. So super strong for Mortis, and you do not want to waste that chance of just auto aiming and hitting one person. Try to always aim for 2 entities on the map. So for Mortis, when you're dribbling, really you have to, one of the basic tip obviously for Mortis is dribbling. And how you want to kind of practice dribbling is, play it in a friendly battle with bots or something. Just try to get your dribbling and try to get it to where you can one dash dribble, which is really important in Brawl, because you don't want to do dash dribble because your opponent might be able to steal the ball. And yeah, so when you're playing Mortis in Brawl, when you're dribbling, you have to make sure that you don't pass the ball to your opponents when you're dribbling, because if you do that, you're not going to have the ball control, and if your opponents are good, they'll be able to catch the ball and pass it to, let's say, their to their ball carrier, which let's say it's a Mortis, and then the Mortis can be able to quickly dash past you guys and score the goal. So you have to make sure that you don't pass to your opponent. And what that what you kind of want to make sure is you don't want to dash right towards your opponent. If they're like 2 players, you want to dash in the middle of them, and you don't always want to just rush right past them. You may see some really good Mortis players play like just grab the ball, instantly dash past all of them and shoot for the ball or shoot for the goal. And that only happens really if let's say they find a big opening where like 2 players are pretty far apart and they don't have, let's say they don't have their super, or if they're like a, you know, Primo or Nita, they can easily dash past them and have enough health to actually dash past all of them and be able to survive to shoot the goal in. So you have to really make sure. And a lot of times Mortis players will do that is because they have their super and the goal is like the walls are open. They can be able to quickly dash past with like 2 dashes and super the ball in. And it's just, you don't always want to just grab the ball and instantly dash past them. Most of the times you want to do that if, let's say, it's someone scored a goal. Let's say your team scored a goal and then you already have a super ready, or you have a super near, like let's say within 1 attack, you can be able to just grab the ball and, you know, just dash past your opponents if you see a big opening and super the ball in. And yeah, so another tip is if you are playing Mortis and your opponent is also a Mortis and he's keeping like really close like attention to you, like he's right onto you trying to kill you, what you have to do, make sure is that you don't actually just dash, like you don't just try to dash the ball, because what they'll do is the opponent Mortis, they're good, they'll dash backwards as well to grab the ball and basically instantly dash past you. So you don't want that to happen, because if you pass on the ball by accident and then it will allow them to actually just instantly get past you and they'll be able to score easily. So you don't want to just give them the ball. What you want to do is you want to dash towards the side. And sometimes a good Mortis player would also, like, if you're walking towards the left side, most of the times it means you're gonna dribble the ball to the left side. So what you know, a little tip you guys can use is you can walk to the left side and dribble to the right side. But obviously like really good Mortis players would also like just know that you're gonna do that, and they will be able to catch the ball. So you have to be really careful of your movements, because it will really affect how what your opponent think you're gonna move next. So sometimes it will be smart to just not even dribble and just walk the ball and just walk forward instead of dribbling, because you might not want the opponent to actually grab the ball. And with Mortis, some players, like if you are not good with Mortis, just don't play him. At least not in rank. Like just practice him in friendly battles or something, because you do not want to play Mortis as a ball carrier if you're bad, because that really means that your teammate is going to have to be able to carry you, and you definitely don't want that to happen. Obviously you might be learning or practicing Mortis a little bit, but it's you know, most of the times if you're racing against a good team, your team is always going to lose, because you're not really going to be doing anything, because you're not a good Mortis. So if you're not that good of a Mortis, definitely just practice him in friendly battles and do not really practice or just play him in ranked games, because you're gonna really let your team down. It's kind of like playing a level 1 brawler with your team against other top players who are all maxed. You're gonna be at a huge disadvantage just because you're level 1. Even if you're really good, you're still gonna be at a huge disadvantage, because they might even be able to 2-shot you and you have to take like 4 or 5 shots to actually kill the opponents. But yeah, that's just some basic tips. And with Mortis, you kind of want to, sometimes what you want to do is, if you are able to get towards close to a goal, sometimes you just want to walk it in. Obviously, if your opponent is, let's say they have a shotgun brawler or a tank, or let's say you're just low on health, you don't necessarily want to walk it in, because walking it in will also take some time, because you have to actually walk into the goal. So instead of walking it in, if you know you're going to be close to dying, just shoot the ball in, and always aim for the corners. It's super important to know that you have to go for the corners, because most of the players, what they will do is they will stand into the middle of the goal, because that way they'll cover most of the area. If they stand on one side, it means the other side will be, not covered. So most of the players will stand into the middle, and better players would walk straight left to right, try to cover the entire thing to actually stop you. So always go for the corner. So yeah, so that is basically it for this video. That's just some basic tips for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this is Brawl Ball video. A lot of you guys have been requesting for Brawl Ball, and yeah, so I'm not like I said, definitely not the best, but after I warmed up for quite a bit, I'm a decent Mortis, I guess you can say. Looking at that first what happened the beginning, yeah, it was definitely a really good. I was kind of lucky, I guess you can say, because it was a pretty good play. So yeah, so you know, we were able to pick up a lot of victories actually. We beat some top players, but I still definitely need a lot of practice with Mortis. So yeah, right there I am able to dash past him, and right there I was able to shoot into the goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next one. Peace.